It was invented by HAFA?
No, this is not good. Dennis is not allowed to use puns in today's video.
I can't help myself, sorry. This one's just wide open.
We want to talk about HAFA today, which is a government program that is supposed to do what exactly?
Well, I believe the theory is that it's supposed to streamline short sales and make them theoretically easier.
Right, I think it actually stands for foreclosure alternative.
Right.
Which is not exactly how we feel about it.
No, it's an alternative, all right, if you like dead ends.
Yeah, so we want to talk about HAFA, which is a government program. I believe it stands for Home Affordable Foreclosure Alternative. So it's an extension of President Obama's HAMP program. How well did HAMP work?
Well, what do you heard about it?
Yeah, HAMP was a loan modification program that didn't work at all. And so, to some degree, we kind of feel the same way about HAFA, that it's a loan program that it's a foreclosure alternative program that doesn't work at all. And so we get a lot of questions about HAFA in general, and it's kind of a slippery slope to talk about, because here's the main incentive for considering HAFA for a seller is that, well, two main reasons. One, you are eligible for a $3,000 moving expense. So,
which is not small potatoes when you're in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, most people that are short selling their homes don't have a lot of money in the bank account.
Right. It's a significant amount when you're trying to make a move and plan your next place to go.
So $3,000 on one side. The other thing is that the banks are agreeing not to pursue you for a deficiency. And there is a predetermined amount that goes to the second lien position. So if there's multiple lien positions on a HAFA short sale, then supposedly those banks that have opted into that program have already consented to the amounts that will be granted from the first to the second.
Right.
So in theory, I would say it's a good program.
In theory, it's a great idea.
In practice?
Well, execution is always where it all falls apart, and this one really falls down.
Right, and so Dennis and I, we do quite a few short sale consultations, and when this topic comes up, we're just going to be honest and say that if I can talk my sellers into not participating, I can fully explain the benefits.
Right.
And those benefits are, yes, you don't get $3,000 by doing a conventional short sale, usually, but our average time on short sale approvals is probably between 5 and 6 weeks right now.
Right.
On HAFA programs, I would expect it to be double the length of time. And because it takes them 6 weeks just to determine if you're eligible for HAFA,
right.
And then once they determine you're eligible, then now you can begin to negotiate the short sale process.
Well, and I think the other thing to take into consideration is that part of the process is HAFA sets a price for your property. They determine what market value is.
Wait. So who determines that market value?
Somebody in a leather chair somewhere.
Are they in Seattle area? Are they in the Puget Sound?
Well, not last I checked.
Yeah. So you have somebody in Texas or Arizona or
New Jersey.
Czechoslovakia. You have people setting the price, and they have no familiarity with our market, and they are using local agents to help them determine what that value should be.
But they pay them $50 every time they do it.
And many of these agents don't sell real estate. Many of them, all they do are these valuations, and so they don't have the feet on the street type experience to know what it's going to take to sell a house.
Yeah, there's a big difference between saying what a property is worth and actually having to back it up by selling it. Significant difference. So we believe that it's absolutely essential that you're working with somebody who's familiar with our particular market, and that you're working with somebody who's going to back up their numbers with selling your property.
And that's the end. Our motivation is to avoid foreclosure for their sellers and to get that property sold. And in our experience, HAFA doesn't do that.
Yeah.
HAFA what it does is it delays the closing experience.
Well, it delays the entire process. It basically sets up a series of roadblocks that make it challenging for us to go through each step that we have to take. Each step of that road we have to take a short sale through.
And to give you a quick example, I have a short sale in Kirkland, first and second lien positions, and it was eligible for HAFA. And we had an offer. We had an existing offer on the property for $225. Because it went through the HAFA program, they determined it was worth $232.5.
Right.
Even though we'd been on the market for months.
Right.
And they made us hold that price for 120 days.
Sure.
So not only was it not worth $232.5 when they told us it was,
right,
it certainly wasn't worth that 4 months later.
No, not when you've got a market that's declining on average, according to appraisers these days, declining approximately 0.75% to 0.5% per month. You're not going to maintain a value. It just isn't going to happen.
That same property is now listed for $210.
Right.
So I even think I could explain to bank employees why my seller's declining to participate in HAFA.
It's pretty simple math.
And so we just wanted to explain that real quick. And certainly, you know, we're not, I wouldn't even go so far to say that we are pushing people to not participate in a government program. It's just that we want you to know the facts. And the facts are that, yes, at the end of this rainbow that they give you is $3,000 and no deficiency.
Right.
We may not be able to get the $3,000, but more often than not in the state of Washington, depending on the lien position and the type of loan, we can get that deficiency waived.
Right. I think the big takeaway here is there's a huge gap between intentions and unintended consequences. This is another government program that, again, doesn't deliver on what its intent was.
All right. Wow, we see a lot of those. So anyway, that's our thoughts on HAFA, and we'll probably talk about it ad nauseum a few times because it does come up quite a bit now. So if you have questions, throw it in the comments below, and we'll do our best to get back to you. So
Thanks. Have a great one.